Welcome. Hello, my name is Randy. I'm your host for the next few minutes. We are going to talk about easier ways. And no, not the easier ways community. Another video for that. No, this is the paradigm of easier ways. And more specifically, this is what I have found as an easier way of living. Okay? And it's based upon the principles and the process of the recovery. So if you don't know, I've got 17 years of continuous sobriety. And stopping drinking and doing drugs is just part of the deal. How I've been able to not go back to my self-destructive ways is I found a way to be at peace, to be comfortable in my own skin, to not get so agitated and uptight about things that used to just drive me bonkers. It's just like, I gotta have a drink. So that just doesn't happen. So my point is I did not come to this by virtue, but by circumstance. And what I share with you works for me. It works for a lot of people. It may or may not work for you. So if you could just kind of kick back, observe, find something that resonates with you enough that you want to give it a shot, try it out, cool. The other stuff, hey, doesn't resonate with you, no reason to think twice about it. Okay? All right, let's dive in. So, again, talking about stuff that used to agitate me. No secret, okay? Today's world, it's crazy. People are bananas, okay? People are going crazy. They're concerned about things like AI, how society's changed, and it's the unpredictability of the global war, the Ukraine or the Middle East or whatever it may be. People are kind of worried. Some people are really filled with anxiety, and not to get too much into mainstream media and stuff like that, but there's propaganda being thrown around. Okay, doesn't matter, mainstream media or whatever and stuff. We are being just inundated with messages. There is a saying that goes back decades and stuff. If it leads, it leads. Okay. And as individuals and stuff, if we hear something that resonates with us, usually we will repeat it. Okay. So even though social media connects us, it also can separate us as well. I am very, very grateful we've come together through Facebook. So I think you know what I'm talking about. There are certainly a polarized community. It's just real easy to see in social media, but there's like a residue from that. People will bring it into the boardroom, the living room, or whatever and stuff. It's really hard for us to connect, And then again, throw it on top of that, things like economic uncertainty. Okay. Just everything right now is leading to making life harder than it ever was. Okay. And I know I kind of went into a dark space, and if it's making you uncomfortable, I apologize. I just wanted to let you know that the premise of easier is it's easier than living in a world of ignorance, intolerance, and hate. This is much more inclusivity. This is much more about peace and understanding and kindness and wisdom. So before I get into talking about the solution, I just wanted to be clear about what the problem was that we're solving here. But just, okay, maybe we can just pause for a moment. Okay. So within these challenges, okay, there lies the potential for profound inner growth, a transformation. Okay. So if you could reconsider that the forces, the circumstances that are bringing tension into our lives could very well also be the catalyst for our awakening. This could be a moment for us to contemplate existential questions like, who am I? Is there more to life? What is the purpose of my life? Okay. And if those are the questions that are coming up that lead you towards a better understanding of yourself and your relationship with life, well, then these challenges are not here to defeat us. They're here to guide us towards a deeper understanding of who we are. Okay. So even though the world is moving faster than it ever has, okay, and again, if you agree with me, it seems like it's crazy, then the logical thing, much as like it in recovery, we talk about doing just the opposite of what was self-destructive, contrary action. So for example, if drinking's causing you misery, then just the opposite of that would be abstinence, not drinking. If you're prone to be arguing with your spouse, your partner, and stuff, well, contrary action is don't. You don't want to go to work. Opposite of that is go to work. Okay, you don't want to go to your meetings and do your recovery program. Okay, do it. And if you do the opposite of what's been causing you misery, then it's only logical you'll probably get the opposite results. So what I'm getting at is, instead of trying to be someone who can control circumstances and then therefore your life doesn't feel as chaotic and as crazy, to surrender and relinquish the illusion of control, and instead of fighting life, to flow with life. Okay, so by embracing this flow, we experience life as it truly is. And what I mean by how it truly is we don't have narratives in our heads of how, if this happens, I'm ruined. Okay, or even again, if this happens, then I've got it made. Those are just our imagination. That thing isn't real. Okay, what's real is here, is now, being present. Okay, of course you're going to be thinking. I'm not talking about having an empty mind. I'm talking about to hold loosely the ideas that are flowing through your head. So it's just like, okay. You don't obsess over things. Okay, and once you're in a flow state, we'll see that our resistance to change has been the root of our suffering, with the clinging to outcomes. Okay, things need to be this way. It should be this way, and it's not. And I'm miserable. Okay? Because I'm miserable, I have to get wasted. I have to get drunk. Okay, I have to have some type of thing to find pleasure and stuff, because reality is making me miserable. Okay, so as the Buddha say, clinging is the root of our suffering. And please know that, again, if you can relate to this type of stuff, and if you're like me when I was first shown it, I felt, I don't know, a little inadequate. Like I should have known better than to do this. Well, know that you're not to blame for the pressure to, to always be right, to be correct, to be so sure of everything you're doing. Okay. To present yourself favorably in the eyes of those that you admire and appreciate. This is just the way we were conditioned, okay? Since we were little people. Our parents are this way, our peers, okay? Our teachers, okay? It's the human condition. From a young age, we've been taught to seek power, prestige, and possessions as a means to feel secure and validated. But these pursuits, however, are just rooted in a misunderstanding of our true nature. We really are, okay? So yeah, we've been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to external success and the approval of others, but it's not true, So now I don't want you to think that I'm against acquiring, achieving, and making progress in life. No. That is how, again, we improve the quality of our lives. It's how society improves and such. But when it becomes your primary source of identity, it leads us away from a more profound truth of who we truly are. Okay, so this false self, this persona constructed by society's demands, it keeps us trapped in a cycle of striving, and anxiety. And again, we can't be at peace at all when we're always worrying about tomorrow. We're always constantly seeking fulfillment outside of ourselves. But beneath this conditioned self lies our true self, which is already whole, loved, and enough. You are enough. You don't need to do anything. All humans, you have an innate dignity. Okay? So although our culture's teachings may have misled us into feeling inferior, okay, there is a path to healing from the times when we felt unwanted, unsafe, and underappreciated. This wellness is found in realizing the most profound truth there is. And we are not defined by our accomplishments or the judgments of others. Our true identity is found in the silent present within. Okay? There is a knowing. Okay? There's knowledge and intelligence that is very important to us humans. There's life experiences. And then there is this innate wisdom that is within us. Call it intuition, call it inspiration, instinct, whatever you want to do it, but it is from within. It's the inside out. If you've been in the recovery rooms, they talk about how this is an inside job. Okay? Circumstances around us don't change, but we change. The way we see ourselves, the way we interact with our relationship with life improves. Okay? Because we're free from the need to prove ourselves. We can be our authentic selves. So this comes from this place of stillness. Okay? And we discover, again, the futility of pursuing power, prestige, and possessions. And none of that stuff will ever fill the hole in our soul. Okay? I mean, look at famous people that seem like they've got everything. They got fame and fortune, and they decide to end their lives. I have no idea what was going on with these people, but I do know what it's like to be suicidal, to be hopeless, to think there's no other choice right now than to end my life. Okay? Yeah, it just goes to show that having fame and fortune, power and prestige and possessions, that is not the way that you find fulfillment, that you find happiness. Okay? These desires are simply reflections of our true desire to live in awareness of our connection with our Creator, to be unified with everything, with everyone. So as we let go of the false self and its demands, we open ourselves to this transformative power of grace. Through this process of letting go, we begin to experience true freedom. We no longer need to be perfect or to seek the approval of others. No. Our value is determined by what we are. Okay? Not by what we do, not by what we have, but who we are. And as we embrace this truth, the burdens of the false self begin to disappear, and we're free to live in the peace and joy of our true self. This journey, again, is not about rejecting the world or its values, but seeing them for what they are: temporary, fleeting. True fulfillment comes not from acquiring more, but from surrendering to the wisdom that is already within us. It has always been with us, just not conscious of it, not myself. I've denied it, I've diluted it, I've polluted it, distorted it, but it's always been there. And intuition, inspiration, wisdom, always with us. It's underneath that busy mind. And when you surrender all those thoughts, all those narratives, all the noise in your head, we discover that we're already complete. We're at home. By letting go, we open ourselves to the harmony of the present moment. The only thing that's real: past, imagination, it's a memory. Future, also imagination. It's all illusion. The only thing that's real is right here, right now. So, That's what's helped me have an easier life. There's more stuff we'll cover in the group, but that is at the core of it. To be in a flow state, living in the moment, and not taking those ideas. Of course, I have ideas. Of course, I have moments of fear, okay, regret, resentments, and I have moments of concern about the future, but I don't hold tightly to them. I hold very loosely. They're not as important as they once were. Maybe that's been your experience as well too. I'd love to know what your thoughts are about this. And maybe you totally disagree with everything. That's understandable. Our thinking is what forms our reality. We all see the world in our own unique way. I would love to know how you see this. No pun intended. What are your thoughts? I'd love to know how you have made life easier, or how you've made life harder and stuff. And you have any questions, any comments, any concerns? That's what this community is about, is to come together in our own unique ways. Because again, I don't have one set way to doing this. I have a way that works for me. I'm convinced on what I am convinced of. Now you must become convinced what you are convinced of. Challenge your beliefs. Ones that don't work for you, logical, good. Won't hold on to them. And in their place, naturally will come in something that does serve you. If you allow it, you flow with it. All right. Thank you so much for giving me 17 minutes of your time. I'm truly grateful for you being in the community. Thank you so much.